Alright, we're getting to it. Alright, this is Digital Law from Carlos and Katie. Basically, we chose this method because digital law has a lot of major impacts within our school system as well as in life, because it shows us that digital law doesn't only stop at the computer and technology, but it also goes to the court of law. And we felt like the major basis of schooling is teaching students what is right and wrong and the ethics of why you should always make original material than other than plagiarizing or copying or stealing. So basically, what is digital law? Digital law deals with our actions and deeds, and how we conduct ourselves. We could either be law-abiding citizens or not, and this could be shown by either students stealing material online, they could plagiarize, they could copy and paste, and so on and so forth. It's easier to cheat nowadays compared to the past, and we just need to teach students why it's not a good idea, as well as the reasoning behind it. They need to learn real life skills. What happens if you copy and paste everything in life? Like, you're not really knowing it, and you're not really knowing it. You're just stealing it, and thus you're just devaluing your degree, or as well as your education, and showing that you don't really care. The importance in the world of technological advancements, a lot of the information gets leaked, copied, and plagiarized. As I explained earlier, it lowers our quality of work and discredits the original producer. So this could be a multitude of things. You could discredit like musicians, writers, poets, lyricists, as well as major video game developers, just because you leak their material, copy their material, or as well as just simply just showing the material off online, which is just simply inconsiderate. Thus, we're just no better than real robbers on real life. We're just doing the exact same thing, just behind the screen. So that because of that, our laws are ever changing, and they're making laws that actually protect you and protect the original creators, and actually could persecute you for stealing that material, which I feel like people are just getting ahead of themselves and thinking nothing will happen because they're right behind the screen. But that's just not the case anymore. And I guess we as teachers have to teach students how to grasp the topic and learn the topic, because they don't see the problem, because they see the work online and they could just copy and paste it, and it could eventually lead to problems down the line if it becomes untreated. The possible outcomes: if we justly teach our students the ethical practice, there will be no legal issues whatsoever they might face in the future. They have a higher quality of work because they actually understand it. Increased creativity because they simply understand the work. They could create multiple ideas and interpretations of readings, such as like books, lyricists, movies, and so on and so forth, instead of simply copying and pasting what they see online, which could probably be wrong or just too advanced. They don't simply understand it. As I said, understanding instead of simply knowledge, and well-rounded citizen, just because they could make the distinction between right and wrong instead of simply saying, oh, somebody already did it, there's no harm and foul if I take it. And unethical practices, legal action, you could face legal action for stealing material if they're trademarked, or as well as have lawyers backing them. It discredits their original work because it shows that you simply copied it, and then you can't differentiate who cheated or not, or who created the work or not. Plagiarism, of course, major universities, plagiarism is a major factor of getting you expelled, as well as high school. And that's because you're just not simply creating knowledge or creating an understanding, you're just stealing it and saying it's your own work. And problems in other areas of life, because you're not simply learning anymore, just copying and pasting. You're not actually advancing compared to the rest of the students, and actually pulling yourself down. And integrating into classrooms. Me and Carly are both English teachers. We would like to set up as many activities with their tests to test their ethical practices, as well as show them what's right and wrong within this concept. We would like to teach them how to quote online material. This would greatly downplay the effects of plagiarism, just because if they quote correctly and justly, they actually could advance their paper or other means of work just by getting ethical backup compared to just stealing. Shows procedures of caught cheating. This actually is important because it will deter them from cheating, actually, just to see the punishments and show it's not worth it. Show how improbable two works can be. This is greatly, it shows that work can't be copied. Almost exactly the same or really similar. The only reason you could be about the same is if you copied. That's the only reason. Show how many technology areas are there to assist the teachers. We have such as Turnitin, Blackboard, and trying to cheat with us right now, it's almost impossible. And it shows that plagiarism is not the way to go. Create online tests to test the differences between right and wrong. This tests their ethical questions, and so on and so forth. And stop students being in the gray area, but more of a black and white area. And test what online sources are fake news or real news. This is important just because that in a ever-changing society, we don't know what's fake or real anymore, because how easy it is to falsify information as well as to put it online. So we as teachers have to show what's credible and not credible, such as .coms, .orgs, or .govs, as well as memes or political news or satire, which could greatly affect the children's mind and make them have certain prejudices or racist ideas. And thus, it's important to just show the students what is ethical or not, and let students find the differences between satire and credible, which I just explained. And these will make students rethink their actions and most likely have them choose the right path. And plagiarism. As English teachers, a common problem related to digital law would be plagiarism. We can ensure that we could do our best as educators to prevent it and restoring the use of technology ethically. And here's our resources. So this is really important just because it's like as time goes on, it's more easier to cheat, but we have technologies to make it easier for us to catch the cheating. And it could save many years of work and so on and so forth for the student, as well as show them it's not always meant to be.